I just had lunch and I watched 2 different YouTube videos while I was eating because I never sit at my table. I just sit in my chair and put my food on a tray and I sit there and eat and watch either TV, I stream something, or I watch YouTube videos. And lately I've been trying to watch some educational YouTube videos while I'm eating lunch because I feel like to do YouTube or anything like this, any kind of job, you have to keep learning. So I watched 2 YouTube videos and they basically said the same thing. Funnily enough, they were each about 17 minutes long. And they didn't need that much time, but everything they said was useful. But it boiled down to be yourself on YouTube. That is where they've had the most success. You know, if they just research something, you know, some informational type video topic and do that, it kind of bombs, and I can agree. I have done that in the past thinking, oh, well, I'm going to provide this information. It's like, people either already know it or they don't care. You know, if it doesn't have anything to do with what I generally talk about, and it's not personal to me, who cares? You know, I'm pretty sure people don't care. But when I talk about my own life and how things affect me and my personal experiences, that seems to do better. So today I'm going to talk about something that I'm kind of working on right now and something I worked on in the past. Etsy versus Zazzle. I had an Etsy shop for probably, I would say at least 15 years. And I sold things off and on. Sometimes I sold craft supplies. Sometimes I sold vintage items. Mostly I sold vintage items. And I also, for a very short time, used Printify or Printful. I'm not sure which one. I don't know what the name of it was. It was a print-on-demand company that you linked to your Etsy shop. People could, you know, you'd make a design and put it on a mug or whatever, which I really enjoy doing that kind of thing. And then people could buy it from you on your Etsy shop. Well, I had the same store for physical products, like I don't know, looking around here, like this Afghan back here. I could have sold that. That's vintage. But I liked it, so I kept it. But I could have sold, and I have sold things like that. But that's a physical product. A coffee mug that I put a design on, I never touched the coffee mug. It comes from Printful, and they ship it. They put my design on it as somebody buys it. So I realized pretty quickly this isn't going to work to have physical products and print-on-demand products in one store on Etsy. Because if they order one of each, and Etsy had a program, I had to be in it because I'd been on Etsy for so long and I was earning a certain amount of money. It was a default. I had to partake of this or I couldn't sell on Etsy. If they bought $35 or more from your shop at one time in one order, you had to give them free shipping. Etsy didn't charge them for shipping, so I had no choice. But if they ordered things from Printful, Printify, I don't know which one it was, and then a physical product, I'm not going to be shipping the print-on-demand product. It just wasn't going to work out. So I decided I'm not going to do the print-on-demand items in my Etsy shop. I could have opened a separate Etsy shop for that. And maybe I should have. But you still have to deal with customers. And it's one reason I quit doing Etsy. People are people. And if something goes wrong, if their order isn't shipped on time, if it doesn't get delivered, or if it gets delivered and somebody steals it from their porch or whatever, it was a hassle. And shipping costs went up so much that it was not prudent at this juncture to do that anymore for me, because if I had if I got an order for $40, I had to ship it for free. I had to absorb the shipping. It just didn't work. So I closed my Etsy shop I think it was last February of 2025, something like that. And I don't miss it one bit. It was a pain in my neck, right here and right here. And so I have had a Zazzle shop for a long time also. Not as long as Etsy, but it's a print-on-demand company, if you haven't heard of it. Zazzle, Z-A-Z-Z-L-E. And I love doing graphic design. I'm not very good at it, but I love doing it. I use Canva, and it's just fun. It's a creative release for me. And so I have sold, I looked at my history of earnings the other day, and it was about $515 I've sold in, I don't know how many years, 10 years or something. So I'm not getting rich off Zazzle. And I also didn't use it correctly. So I'm starting to learn more about how to use Zazzle correctly because I love doing it. So as if my YouTube channels isn't enough work, I'm going to start doing Zazzle more frequently and consistently, because on Zazzle, if you have a shop and are, to sell things, if you don't make a new design once every, I think it's 30 days, they charge you $2 just to kind of have your shop open. Well, so I put on my calendar, make a new Zazzle product, like 28 days later or something, just so I don't miss the deadline. Because for a long time, I didn't do anything with Zazzle. And I went and looked, and $2. They were subtracting $2 from my meager earnings for probably a year, which, it's not a lot, but it's like, I don't want them to do that. And all you have to do is make a new listing, and then they don't do that. Every 30 days, make a new listing. And don't quote me on this, but I think that's the time frame. So I've started looking into Zazzle more. I'm going to watch YouTube videos about people who are successful on Zazzle, because I like passive income, because once you put it up there, it's up there. Anybody who sees it can buy it if they want to. And like I've said, I haven't had great success on Zazzle, but I've had great fun, and that's worth it to me. So that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately, is getting more serious with Zazzle. And I will probably put a link in the description to my Zazzle stores. I have 2 of them. I will have to decide. So if it's not there, it's because I decided not to. But, what the heck. I'll probably just put a link. You can go check it out if you want. Zazzle is wonderful. If you you can customize just about everything you see on there. Put your own name on it, put your own picture, or whatever. So, I just think it's wonderful. I love it. They have so many different products. It's fun to figure out, what do I want to make next? Do I want to do a cornhole game? Put an image or a design on a little corn, the bags, the beanbag things that they sell. They sell pickleball rackets. They do invitations, wedding invitations, thank you cards, greeting cards, magnets, badges, everything. I mean, just about anything you can think of. Golf balls. You can put your picture on a golf ball, or whoever's picture. And so I think it's fun. I'm going to do that more, but I'm going to keep doing YouTube because I like to work. I don't consider myself to be retired because I'm always working on something to earn money. And sometimes I don't earn very much money, but that's okay. I'm trying and I'm enjoying myself. I don't have to do any of this. I don't have to do it to get the money, but I like being busy. I like working. I like the possibility of earning some money. So I just thought I'd share my Etsy and Zazzle story with you, because Zazzle, that's another thing I meant to mention, was they take care of all the shipping. You put the design up there on whatever products you decide to do, and if somebody buys one of them, Zazzle prints it onto that item. They ship it out. You never speak with a customer. It's wonderful. After dealing with Etsy, Zazzle is so much better. That's just my opinion, and I know a lot of people do really well on Etsy, and that's great, but it's a very saturated market. So is Zazzle, but I didn't want to mess with the shipping and the customer complaints, because sometimes it was out of my control. It's like, I'm sorry, somebody stole the package off your porch. I didn't do it. I shipped it, you know, and it was a hassle. Zazzle is not a hassle. So anyway, let me know if you have any side hustles or little jobs like this that you do to earn money or just for fun. Maybe you paint, or, you know, I don't know. Maybe you do something else and you enjoy it, and that's great. I think it's great. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.